What's up, beautiful creators? This is the first video of the year where you actually get to see my face. I missed you guys and I'm so excited for this year and all the content that I'm going to be creating for you guys. As you can see, it's a new me, it's a new atmosphere. I tried to, do a little something for the new year. So today I want to give you guys 5 tips of how I edited a sketch. It was my first sketch ever, my first narrative in a sense. And these are 5 tips that I learned that helped me be a efficient editor and a fast editor, and that just made my clients say, wow, this girl was great. So I want to just kind of help you guys, and this kind of works with all kinds of editing, honestly. Definitely for films if you're trying to get into that, for narratives, but just regardless, even if you're just doing BTS or whatever, this will help you become a better editor. So let's get into it. Okay, if you guys want to see the sketch first, or if you guys do want to just head over after this to see the sketch, go to Issa Rae's YouTube channel. I will have the link above. But the first tip that I want to give you guys on what really helped me was, before I even got started editing, the first thing I did was I was my own assistant editor. So organizing is the first thing that you want to do. The thing about organizing is the first thing you really want to organize on your external or whatever drive that you're using, because if you organize on that first, when you import into Premiere, everything's already organized. If you don't organize on your drive, then you're gonna have to organize in Premiere. It's just better to have everything organized, because if you are giving the drive back to the client, then, and if they need to go in, or if they need to give it to someone else, then everything is organized for them. So I usually do try to organize in the folder, but for this one I didn't, because it was a quick turnaround and I needed to hurry up and get started on it. So what I did was I organized in Premiere, and the way that I did that is I always have a folder for sequences, because I know that I'm gonna have multiple sequences, nested sequences, things like that. I always have a folder for graphics, music, audio, footage, and so forth, or however many folders you feel like you need to have. So the first step is to organize everything. If you have to be your own assistant editor, it's always easier. It helps you go through everything quickly. It helps you find things quickly. Make sure that you organize, period. The second tip is labeling. Color labeling. Now, I didn't used to do this when I first got into it, but I love seeing all these colors on my timeline. But outside of that, I think labeling was great, because it was 8 different scenes and I was able to label each scene. So if I colored the scene 1 yellow and colored scene 2 blue, then I know that, okay, we're moving into a whole new scene. So labeling helped me maneuver through my timeline fast. The easiest way would be to label everything where all of your files are in the project window, but I didn't do that this go around. I usually try to do it early on, but I didn't. You can also label in the timeline if you forget to label at the beginning in the project where all your files are. So the second one definitely is labeling. That helped me so much. The third tip is you want to make sure that you edit the scenes individually. Now, my sketch was only 5 minutes, but there are sketches that may be longer. There are films that you have to edit that may be feature films, short films that are 20 minutes long, and they have so many different scenes. We only had 8 scenes, but you want to edit the scenes individually. You don't want to go into the edit trying to create the edit from beginning to end. Also have the script. I multi-cammed, of course, all of my footage. I created a new sequence of just scene 1 and I edited that. I kept all the footage on the timeline just in case I needed to go back, but I did create like a small edit for scene 1 just so I could have it, and did the same thing for each scene. That way all you're doing is combining and plugging and play into your main sequence. It's also not as intimidating if you edit by scene as opposed to trying to edit the full thing. So definitely make sure you edit per scene. Tip number 4, save your sequences. Please save your sequences, everyone. I wanted to create a rough draft so that when the director came in on Friday and we were trying to finalize, since it was due quickly, he had enough to go off of. And so what I did was I created the first rough cut, and that just kind of had like the shots that I liked. I wasn't on set, so the particular clips that I felt like were the best clips, and I kind of created the full thing. I think it started off as 10 minutes. And so that was my first rough cut. When he came on Friday, we went through, him and the writers, we all went through, and that was the second cut. So with that, I created a new sequence, because just in case I needed to ever go back to the first sequence, or we kind of changed too much on the second one, we need to kind of revisit the first. You always have the prior sequences just in case anything's happened. If you cut over the sequence, then you can never go back and just fix what you have. So after I worked with him that Friday, we had a new sequence, which was the second rough cut. Then that Monday, after he had everything, we showed it to Issa. After Issa watched it, she had some edits that she wanted. And so that would be the third rough cut. And so you want to always have all these new sequences just to make sure that just in case you have to go back, then you can. The fifth one is notes. Notes help me so much. Like, I always have my note like app up on my Mac, like just notes of like when Issa gave me notes and when a director gave me notes, just having that all. And what I would do is every time I fix something, I will bold it and scratch it out in my notes to make sure that it got done. So what I did was when they sent all the notes through email, I just copied them all and pasted it into my notes app. That way I just kind of have them all in one area or one place that I can just go to whenever I needed to. So I had Issa's, I had the directors, I had the writers, I had my team's notes, everyone's notes all in one place so that I can just attack them head on one by one. And so just making sure that you have all the notes in one place, it just makes it so much more proficient and efficient, and just can make you just makes you an overall faster editor. And then the bonus tip that I will give you, that I did not do this one time but I usually do, is to create proxies. And I talked about this in my previous videos from like a year ago or 2 years ago. But you just want to make sure you create proxies. They did shoot 4K, and luckily my computer can actually work with 4K, so I didn't have an issue when I didn't create the proxies. But if you don't have a computer that's powerful enough to work with 4K, and you just want to work faster, because sometimes even if you do have a powerful computer and you're working with 4K, it can still like just act a little jittery and weird. So just if that's something that you have time for, because I didn't have time to do that, I didn't create it. But I usually like to create proxies so that I can work more faster. I think editing overall is just learning how to be a more efficient editor and be fast if you can, but still just be great. I think I showed the writers and the directors, even the writers was like, oh my God, you edit so fast, like you know where everything was. And so just being able to have that feedback, Issa just coming back and telling my team like, Brittney did really amazing at the amount of time that we had to be able to pull this off. All that came from these tips that I'm giving you guys. And so just having your client kind of give you great feedback to just, it's always great. So hopefully these tips helped you. I know they helped me, and I'm continually learning. Like I said, that was my first sketch, my first like narrative in a sense. I'm hoping to do a lot more this year, but let me know if those tips helped you in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like. Tell your friends who are editors or want to be editors or getting into this kind of environment to also watch this video. So share it with everyone. And if you are not subscribed, do not go through another year not subscribed to my channel, because this year will be the year that we build community. It will be the year that we have fresh, new content from my perspective. I hope to really help you guys. So make sure you subscribe, make sure your notifications are on, because I am trying to do weekly videos. I know last year I kept saying it and I didn't, but I am trying to do weekly videos, and I really, really, really do want to just create a atmosphere for my community to just feel like we're all in this together. Like I'm not all the way up there, like I'm learning with you guys. So thank you guys for watching today. Be on the lookout for the next video. And if you are new here, check out some of my other videos, because they will help you get a glimpse of who I am, what I do, and why I do it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys very, very soon.